You can't see the video of what I'm doing, but again, I'm going down the centre to make a groove. To make the stone weaker in the centre, so that when you actually carve on the chisel, you can see that and here we go. Chips everywhere. With this stone, as I said earlier, you cannot sand it, so you must get the cut correct when you are actually cutting. Again, I'm not choking the hammer as much due to the fact that the stone is so fractious. It's not like softer slates, or I think the closest you'll probably get in the fractious of this is Brazilian slate. And the angle of approach I've got at the moment, normally I'd be about 30 degrees. Here I'm going in rough at 45 degrees, and I will be finishing somewhere about 80 degrees. Because if I don't, there'll be too many chips in it. So normally it takes me about 7 minutes to do a letter this size. This will take me between 10 and 15 minutes due to the type of stone. A bit near enough when I'm carving granite. It takes me about 10 minutes. When I'm carving sarsen, I'll be doing some sarsen today to tidy up a memorial. Or I may do it tomorrow. So, and there we get that. No chips because of the angle. 30 degrees normally, if I was doing something like Portland stone, because the sharpness of the chisel is good for that. Whereas this here, there is very little give. And you can hear I'm actually striking harder. In this case, I'm taking off probably about a millimetre at a time. So normal slate, Welsh slate, I would do 3 passes. One rough pass, one semi-finish and a finishing pass. Whereas with this, I will be careful and I'll be chipping away to the point where you could probably drag it out to about a year in slow motion. It does take a sharper cut because it's tighter. Which is one of the reasons why more people tend to use the Welsh slate. Because it takes a brilliant cut, and it all again depends on how it's been cut from the quarry. See that chip coming out there? That was half a tower block. And if you look at this, you can see a mottled effect. Every single piece of mottling there, like that section there, that section there, carving that, carve it one single move in the wrong direction, and it lifts out. It pops out like a bloody champagne bottle cork. So patience. So there's several ways you can do this. You can go in hard and like that. With lots of little taps, and if you do it correctly, you can actually see the layers of the slate, the veneer. And it comes out quite nice. Looks lovely when it's wet. I'll give it a wee wet with water, and that'll clean all this, because what I've done is I've coated the whole lot with pencil and then wiped it with a sponge. Actually, I wiped it with the back of the sponge of one of these diamond pads. This is a rubbing pad. When I'm finished, I tend to do the edges just to take the sharpness off them, so that when lifting it, carrying it, whatever. I'm going to stick this in my garden as well. Don't know where. Probably in the greenhouse or something. Or bury it. Something like that. Anyway, back to it. Anyway. And if you watch carefully, what I'll do is I'll make a section lift up just so you can actually see it. The way the chips work. Or maybe. Did you see that? See that? See that? And those chips come up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chips there that need to be redressed. And I do this. Smaller, tighter. And that takes the chips away. I could use a lighter hammer for finishing. I prefer to use the same all the way through. And again, you probably can only see my fingers on this. So going against the grain, just for the hell of it. And then this is where it starts to get a bit shady. Some people use a smaller chisel. What I'm doing there is I'm just getting the mount of this E. It's E. It's a glottal there. So anyway, again, another anyway. Let's get some chips. Let's see if we can get some chips. So I'm hammering it in so I can get. I don't want to put too many big chips want enough to explain what's actually happening in the carving process.